not short, I am just very humble. I'm down to earth. That's will work for me. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Xatyiswa Maqashalala. I was diagnosed with a condition called kyphoscoliosis at the age of 3. So it's basically a medical condition where the spinal cord is an S or a C shape. Now, it affects children in different ways. Others lose their ability to walk, others it affects their mind. So with me, it affected the growth of my right leg. Having been born with kyphoscoliosis, I ended up developing a disability of some sort. But I didn't know I was disabled. I had no idea I was different until at school in the playground during break time. My family had always treated me like all the other children. Even in my village, I was just a normal child until I got to school. And this one day, a little boy said, I walked funny, and he started laughing at me, and he mobilized his friends to laugh at me. Society expects that I would cry, I would get angry, I would go tell my teacher, or I'd wait till I get home in the afternoon and tell my family. But I didn't do that. I revolted. I broke what the society expected of me. I rebelled against the expectation. And instead, in that moment, I stood up to him. As you can see, I have always been very humble. So I stood up to this tall boy and I said, well, at least I can do my maths and I can read. What about you? From that day on, I have always revolted against what the society expects of me. After finding out that I was disabled and that I was mocked and teased for the way that I am, I started to be intentional about the things that I did. I excelled in everything that I did. I passed all my grades. I passed with flying colors. I took up as many extramural activities as I possibly could. At the end of primary school, I became the head girl of Fort Hare Primary School, even though I had only been in that school for 1 year, actually less than a year. I moved on to high school. In high school, the teasing is different. Because they're smarter, it becomes sarcastic, it becomes deeper. You know, they say it while you're talking. And so they stopped laughing, but instead they started saying things that really hurt. But it did not stop me from excelling, from being exceptional, and from being intentional about the things that I did. In the classroom, I was the brightest. In the playground, I was the happiest. At the end of high school, I was given an honorary award called the Character Award. And this was because of the way I had positively influenced both my peers and my teachers, regardless of the strains that I'd been facing for those 5 years. After high school, I went on to study sciences. I did a BSc degree in agriculture, not because I love agriculture. I mean, yeah, I am talking about myself. So obviously I'm a humanities person. But I did sciences because one of the prognoses that was given by the doctors was that I would deteriorate both mentally and physically. So I did sciences to revolt against that, to say, in fact, my brain works better than the average human being.
Yes.
I started getting sick when I got to varsity. My body started wearing down. As it is now, I cannot sit for 30 minutes without my back aching. I cannot stand for 20 minutes without my hip becoming painful. And I cannot walk for about 40 minutes without my leg wanting to tear from the rest of my body. But instead, I started hiking.
Yes.
And I've been hiking since. I have always revolted against what society expects of me. Society expects that people living with disabilities should shrink. They should wait on the government. They should sit back and not do anything. But instead, I have done the exact opposite. I have managed to travel overseas around Africa. I have managed to stand in front of thousands of people, motivating them and coaching them. I am currently a motivational speaker, a life coach, and a leadership coach. And I tell people to always revolt against what society says against them. There are many things that life can throw at you, and you have no control over that. You have no control over the circumstances that are given to you. You have no control over your background or what life throws at you, but you have total control over how you respond to it. You do not have to wait for society to detect and determine where you're going with life and what to do with your life. But from this day, you can choose to look at everything that's happening in your life and say that I am revolting against what life expects of me, against what society expects of me. Thank you.